Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Muhammad Hasnain, once again with all of you people. And today, I am once again with all of you people, as I said before. And we are going to be doing our day 15. The start of our new week, or more like the second day or first day. I don't know how to say that, but simply the first day of our second week has officially ended, and now it's our third week. We had completed our 2 weeks. So let us begin with our topic, and today I'm not going to be introducing many more things, and I'm not going to confuse you people a lot. And secondly, I'm very happy with you people feedbacks, because you people have gave me a lot of good feedbacks and I've really enjoyed them. You people really love this whole crash course, and it was amazing to have you people by my sides at all time, and it was amazing to teach you people as my personal experience goes by. So we are going to be talking about exploring culture nuances. Yeah, there is two, nuances and nuances. I am a British type of person, so I would say nuances. N-Y-O-O-C-E-N-S. Cis. Nuances. Now, there is a difference. There is a difference in pronunciation, etc., but I'm not going to confuse you people. So what is the meaning of this singular word, nuances? Nuances means a subtle but really weird but really important detail that is different, or that is a difference. For example, there is a subtle difference in cultures, there is a subtle difference in expression, mood, behavior, etc. So those small things are not that much important, but they are pretty noticeable and pretty irritating very fast. So that's how we know that small things also matter and really matter in the case of nuances. So let's go ahead and learn some different cultural differences and cultural nuances. So, number one, cultural aspects of English-speaking countries. Now, every country has its own aspect of English-speaking countries. For example, Dutch people do not see of these like English-speaking. For example, America or Europe has that much difference, because they also speak English, but they are also kind of a little bit like English, but they are still Dutch. So they have a very normal look towards native speakers or to English speaking countries that actually speak. Now, Russia or countries like Germany, etc., they do not care a lot about these countries, but on singular level or to individual level, it's a little bit fascinating, but not that much of a big deal. But here in Pakistan, they see countries like America and etc. like some kind of places out of this planet. That is like heaven in their eyes. They believe it to be like when you want to show that you are rich, and when you want to show that you have experience and you are the best, you should say, I've been to America like 10 times, and they're going to say, oh my god, you are just the perfect person, you are just the smartest, you are just the best. So they have this way of looking at certain countries. So they see these countries as very big, but in reality they are just countries like any other place you can find out there. So cultural aspects of these countries are pretty important also, because the more different aspect you have, the more different respect you have for the language. If your respect for the language, for the country is not good, so you will also not have a respect for the country. Like in Pakistan, some people really like English because they are fascinated by the people who speak it, and secondly, there are some that hate countries that are English speaking, or more specifically countries like America. Like America is not a country at all, but like the United States, like they have a little bit grudge, some of Pakistanis, because they believe that most of the corruption or most of the manipulation that is happening in our Pakistan's region is America. But that's not the truth actually. We do not know what's the reality, so we cannot say anything about anybody else. But it's people, they have their own opinions, they have their own right to share their opinion. Nobody can stop them from sharing their personal opinion. So some people will have a kind of like good, some people will be polite, some people will be having a good image of certain countries. Meanwhile, some people will have a really bad country. Some people will have a bad image. They are going to think of the country as some kind of bad place. Like most of the outsiders that like say when you say that Pakistan, so they have this image of this very dirty, polluted area and this terroristic area. But in reality, the people who have actually been to Pakistan know how beautiful and how magnificent, malevolent and miraculously beautiful this place is. So when you have a good image, you're going to love it and you're going to try to learn it, or you're going to simply love it. Meanwhile, when you have a bad image in your mind, you're going to hate it. You're going to have this hate in your mind, and you're never going to allow your family, yourself, your children, your family, etc., anybody to learn the secondary language. Like for example, if you're a supporter of PTS, you will never let your son or your family members be the supporter of another party. You're going to say that Imran Khan is the best, why are you doing this? This is nonsense and that. You'll be trying to convince your family not to do it. But if you are in the favor of some other place and your family is coming from another party to your party, so you're going to be very polite, formal, and you're going to say, yeah, this is the best party and you should come here, and this is the best party you can find out there. This is one of the best, and this is this and this is that. So you're going to have that image in your mind that you're going to have for these things. So first of all, you should be clear that there is no such thing as bad country or good country, or country that manipulates others, or countries that are great or countries that are ridiculously bad. There is no such thing as that. Every country is equal and opposite in their own way, are good and bad in their own way. Just look at Pakistan. Do you think Pakistan is great? At least America and countries like that are cleaner, are safer, are better, more developed. If they are anything, they are better than us. So who are we to judge them? But in reality, every country is equal and every country is opposite in its own way. Some countries have some disadvantages that are different, and some countries have some advantages, like for example, countries like United States. Now most, like the major cities that you go into, they are going to be like concrete boxes. Meanwhile, Pakistan is full of concrete boxes, plus is having good scenery. So the disadvantage of other countries is an advantage to us because they do not have good scenery. So there are some advantages and some disadvantages. Politeness and cultural sensitivity. Now, what is politeness and cultural sensitivity? You should be polite to every cultural. Nowadays, people have this problem that they are having this grudge over each other, like Punjabi, Pashtun, Balochi, Sindhi, etc. These grudges are happening just on the basis of what? Tribe. So you should be polite while learning or while having a speaking or while you're doing anything. And cultural sensitivity, you should never be arrogant, or you should never be a very bad person, because you should never criticize another person's culture, because it is very sensitive and dear to his heart, and it can even make him so angry that he will kill you if you do that. So cultural sensitivity is important. Every culture is sensitive, and we should not matter, and we should not insert ourselves into other people's culture and not to talk, because in Quran it has also been said in one ayat jiska mafhoom hai, that the summary goes like this, ke aap auron ke like even if they are on the wrong path, even if the non-believers are on the wrong path, do not talk after their God, because if you talk after their God, they are going to talk after your God, which means Allah. So that's why we are going to not have any kind of cultural sensitivity, and we are going to go ahead and have our... Now, what is cross-cultural communication exercises? Cross-cultural areas or environments are pretty great for our society. You're going to have a different experience, you're going to have a different way, you're going to have a lot of enjoyment, and you're going to have a lot of different experiences, culturals, and many more things in cross cultures. Have a lot of experiences, a lot of new things that you're going to learn from different cultures and different people that are living in the same cross-cultural environment as you. And people are also going to learn from you, right there. Yes, you. They're going to learn many more things. For example, people who go to abroad often have a broader or a bigger mind than people who stay in their own country. Why? Because they have a cross-cultural experience. They have different... And then you should have some communication exercises that include cross-cultural. So for that reason, you should have some natives that you talk to, or you should have some people that are professional in the language, so that you get more experience and you gain a better hold of the certain language. So this is how we learn about the subtle different nuances, etc., and the subtle different differences that are in certain languages. So this is the way you do it. And this is all for today. Thank you so much for staying with me, and Allah Hafiz.